So we talked about dock walkways, the secondary points, your main lake points. Something that people overlook a lot is red clay, and we have a lot of red clay in our lakes around here, Georgia, South Carolina, and red clay is it's a great stopping point. Now, usually, for me, it's some type of point. Red clay they use here for, herring spawn it's one of the most incredible bites I've ever seen, and that's a lot of red long clay points. Those are stopping points for those fish. They can push bait up really, really fast, and it's just a very overlooked piece of structure that guys slide by, and especially on Lake Norman. I'm letting out some secrets here, but a lot of those guys run by those red clay points like, well, that just looks like a barren red clay point and there's nothing on it. But if you can find one with, if it's got 2 rocks, I'm not talking about boulders, I'm talking about 2 rocks or a tiny stump or something like that. Those fish, those secondary red clay points, like I said, inside a pocket, those things will get absolutely loaded. Like it'll blow your mind that once you catch one, how many fish are actually on that place. And a lot of those clear water lakes, Norman is a big one. Once you catch one of those fish, those fish tend to pull out. And as anglers, we get to fishing so fast, we leave that place and we don't come back. We don't cycle back through that area. Well, those fish, they may run off that place when you first catch one, because they may all follow him out because they're all trying to eat that same, whether it's a crankbait or a jig, whatever you throw up there. He's trying to come out there and attack his buddy and get that bait out of his mouth. Well, you see him scatter and you're like, well, they're gone now. I'm not going to catch those fish anymore. Give that place like 20, 30 minutes and come back. Those fish will be sitting there again. So once you catch one off those clay points, even in that clear water, if they do follow it out, don't be afraid to cycle back through those areas where you had bites. Because in that clear water, it can be intimidating. I know it was for me when I first got here. It was like, well, I had 2 fish follow that out. Those fish are gone now. I see them spread out and I'm like, they're not coming back. There's no reason for them to. Well, then you come back to that structure, then you think it's just a clay point, and all of a sudden you hit that stump and you get that reaction bite. You might have missed it on the first cast and had those fish follow it out and maybe not eat the bait. But like I said, that live scope, that has cut the time with that in half. It's incredible that we can pull up to a place now, and it's not just for looking at fish. It's for looking at structure. I know exactly where to make that cast. It's made me a more proficient angler as far as not just looking at the fish. It's not made me more proficient as I know what fish is there, because in 2 foot of water, they're hard to see, especially if they're sitting behind a stump. If you pan, you hit the front of the stump, you're not going to see the 2 fish sitting behind it. But I know I can make multiple casts to that one target. I don't have to mess with almost the fluff that's on the other side of the point or the barren areas that don't have a fish on it. So.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.